time in your career, I've never heard you ask this, was there a time in your career where you treated somebody like a rented mule? Or,
of course.
Or rent a car or something?
Oh, of course. You just turn that guy into a turnstile.
You couldn't wait to go and go, oh, I want to play against this guy. You can mention a name if you want to, but where your eyes get so big and you said, I'm going to work him all day.
Well, in Seattle, the defensive end on the other side of me on a pass rush situation was Michael Sinclair. Michael had a pretty good career. I think he had almost 70 sacks, made a couple Pro Bowls.
He's a real good player.
And my thing was, every week, Michael, I've got Tony Jones or some Jonathan Ogden or some All-Pro, Hall of Fame, future kind of guy in front of me. And you got some dude who was just in the World League last year. And he's coming off his second start. So when my time came up, when I got the rookie, when I got some guy who was filling in for an injured guy, oh heck yeah. I watched tape all week. I did some extra reps. I practiced my sack dance because I was prepared to just kill this kid. And one of the first things I would always say when I lined up, okay, you got to be a little afraid right now. You got to be a little afraid. I'm going to get about 30 shots, and I guarantee I'm going to win 20 of them against you.
Ooh.
And then you just kind of start getting in that kid's head, and then he turns into a turnstile, and you beat him like a rental.
I didn't realize you were such a trash talker.
Oh, big time.
Really?
Big time. This is a family show. I can't go there right now.
Questions that I've talked to other people about over 40 years or something. I had defensive linemen tell me that they looked at the knuckles of the offensive lineman. Did you ever do that?
Oh, absolutely. So I'll give you a quick rundown of the pre-snap thoughts. A lot of people think football players are a bunch of idiots. On the pre-snap thoughts, so I made a tackle the previous play. I get up off the ground. I look at the sideline. I see what the sticks are. Oh, it's 3rd and 8. Great. It's probably going to be a pass rush call. So I'm walking back to the huddle. I'm thinking about all the possible calls that are going to come in. The linebacker communicates the call. We're going to go with dime, cover 4. Okay, great. I got a straight man rush. I don't have to work any games. Last time I lined up a little inside, this time I lined up a little outside, show him a different look. He's in a 3-point stance. Could be run or pass. He's got a lot of weight forward. I can see the whites of his knuckles. A lot more difficult now because guys wear gloves. But even with the gloves, you can see when a guy's weights forward as opposed to when he's really light on his fingers, he wants to get back into a pass stance. Once I see that kind of stuff, then my next thought is, what's my move going to be? What's the possible drop going to be? Then the ball is snapped. And all that goes out the window because then you got to read and react. But hopefully along the way of my pre-snap thoughts, I've given myself a little bit of an advantage with all that.
That's why I brought it up, that I think when you talk about it, people go, well, they rush and they pass, block and stuff like that. The game within the game of how Peyton is back there evaluating the defense, and he's looking at the safety, and is there 2 deep or is there 1 deep, and he's making decisions, but that every player on the field has to go through a similar sort of thought process. Is that a fair statement?
There's a pre-snap checklist that you run through in your head. You get the call. Once you get the call, as a defender, is it run? Is it pass? Yes, there's about 19 different thoughts that are separate that happen from the time you get up off the ground until the time the next play starts.
Just the back up to that, if someone is running at breakneck speed like the Patriots or the Broncos or the old Colts, can you go through those 19 things?
You got to simplify. You got to keep it down to the top of the list, the top 4 or 5. But you also have to realize the offense is doing the same thing. When they're going fast tempo, the quarterback doesn't have the same ability to read the safeties. The wide receivers can't look at the defensive back's movement as well. So it works for both sides.
He's Chad Brown, and this segment sponsored by John Elway Chevrolet, Colorado's #1 Chevy dealer.